So thank you all for attending. My name's AlfieWhattam from Hayes Digital and Technology Recruitment in London. I'm joined by Jamie Walker, another manager in the business. Say hi, Jamie.
Hi there. I manage the network infrastructure team at Hayes.
Lovely. So we're doing this call today all about the world of work post COVID-19. So we're speaking to a few digital and technology leaders across London to get their views, their insights, their opinions and their ideas into what's going to happen with working from home, remote working, the situation post everything that's going on, to really get some insights and ideas into what's happening. Now, we're doing this in a roundtable tech panel discussion format where we're going to be asking 5 simple questions. Then our 4 guest speakers are going to take it in turns, basically, to give a 1 to 2 minute answer. And then that way you get a range of different opinions and ideas from the different expert speakers that we've got involved. So look, let's kick it off. Jamie's going to ask the first question, and then order by order, we're going to go through the speakers. What I'd recommend as well is when you're giving your first answer for the speakers, maybe just sort of spend 10 to 20 seconds just giving a little bit of information about yourself to give some context to people in the chat. I'll pass it over to Jamie and kick it off.
Great stuff. Okay, question number 1. So we've all been working at home these last few months. What technologies and different tools and platforms have you found most helpful with working remotely? Raquel, would you like to answer first?
Yeah, I can go first. Can you hear me okay, guys?
Yes,
yeah,
we can.
Good. So a brief introduction about myself. My name is Raquel Silva. Funny accent comes because I'm Portuguese and I live in London from the last 8 years. I am an agile coach for JP Morgan Chase. And besides that, I'm also a certified team coach from Scrum Alliance and an IC Agile instructor. So keeps me busy during these times. So the question is about tools, technology, platforms. I will not, since I'm the first one on this, I'm not stretching it. Otherwise, I take a bit of the technology out. So for me, the most important ones that I use personally is Zoom, Miro, and any other tools that I can put my hands off that allows us to interact in a better way. Because most of my work is facilitation and training. And if I don't have good tools, I need to invest a bit in a better microphone, better setup at home, so I can actually perform my job better. But and then there is things that I never neglect, even working from home, like paper stuff, pen and paper to do schematics, get people to think, give them time. So, yeah, I think for me is a mix between what you can do in a technology and the techniques you use as a person to get the things going.
Shalini, would you like to go next?
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah. So hello everyone, I'm Shalini, and I'm working as a Scrum Master for Irish Software Group based in Slough. So I'm a certified Scrum Master too from Scrum Alliance Board. So to the question regarding the tools and technologies, as I was saying, like I'm a Scrum Master, so I used many online visual collaboration tools for my facilitation. So first, let's talk about retrospectives. That is one key thing which is unavoidable in Scrum and is a very important event in Scrum. So for that, I use, like Raquel said, I use Mural, which is one of my most favorite tool. And there is another tool called Miro. I think it's Web Whiteboard, which was earlier known as, but that has been known as Miro now. Another one of my favorite tool is Fund Retrospectives. So if you go to fundretrospectives.com, you can see that you can do many of your retrospective using various themes. So Fund Retrospectives is my third favorite. And I will tell one more because I don't want to maybe others might be telling. So I just go for one more tool for retrospective is Go Reflect. That is another one of my favorite tools. For meetings, we use Slack, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, WebEx. That is 4 of my favorite tools for meetings. For file sharing, we use Google Docs and Dropbox for file sharing. For our work on a day-to-day basis to track our work, we use Jira and Trello for our work tracking. Then being in Agile, being in Scrum, pair programming is one of the key things which we do in our team. So for that, we use Microsoft Visual Studio for live code sharing. So that is one of our most favorite tools for pair programming. So yes, these are the most favorite tools of me, and which we use in Iris software. That's it.
Russ?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is RussShaw. I'm the founder of Tech London Advocates and Global Tech Advocates. These are communities of tech leaders, experts, investors, all coming together as volunteers to support their local and regional tech ecosystems. In terms of the platforms that we're using, I think the question should be, which platform aren't we using? I mean, obviously we're on Teams at the moment. There's Zoom, there's Google Hangouts, Amazon Chime, WebEx, Skype for Business. I think part of the challenge I personally face is just getting used to the different interfaces from the various platforms. But I think 3 months in lockdown now, and I feel like I've become an expert. Other platforms that I'm using include Slack, include WhatsApp, and I do interface with advocates in China a fair bit, so everything is done on WeChat.
Great stuff. Nauman, would you like to go next?
You're on mute. I think still you're on mute.
Nauman, you might be on mute. Maybe just unmute yourself and then go for it. Cool. Hey, well, whilst we're waiting for that to happen, a few people have posted some of their favorite technologies in the chat that they like to use. Feel free to do that also, just so we're sharing ideas and everybody can sort of jump in and take them for their teams as well. Nauman, have you unmuted?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, there we are.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Sorry, I'm using another app, so it took over. Okay, my name is NaumanMalik. I work for Fujitsu. I'm in delivery side of world. Done some Agile, Prince2, and the certification. My most of the time at the moment is delivering with a financial regulator at the moment, and we interact with supporting the frontline staff as well. Yeah. So in terms of tools, what we use. We are using all the available technologies, as my colleague mentioned earlier. Most of them, as we are using Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Skype, yeah. And also there are, for delivering projects, we are using Trello, ServiceNow, and internal managed tool as well. Yeah, and in addition to this, we are also keeping an eye and also part of the rollouts with the immersive technology, where we interact in using the AR, VR technologies to see how we can interact with our customer in a more interactive or more personal level. Yeah, so these are the tools and technologies, and with the changing world COVID. Thank you.
Wicked. All right. Well, thank you all. That was really helpful. So the next question's all about agile teams and agile environments. So look, can you all speak briefly, please, about the importance of having an agile tech team, given what has been demanded of most people over the last couple of months with working from home? Same format. Raquel, do you want to kick that off?
Yeah, I think the benefit of having an agile team is usually agile teams don't work siloed. They are very used to work in collaboration. In my case, the struggle was they were missing. Everybody loves to work from home every once in a while, but the problem was the teams were missing that physical contact, that touch the shoulder of the colleague next to them. And we adopt in the beginning a bit of get in touch more times with them, so get sure they were having what they need. They were not. The loneliness was one of the most important things that we need to overcome. because that lack of human contact and just seeing everybody over a little window like this was very, very difficult for my teams. Support from each other, get them to talk outside of any work context, and just be truthful. And some of the teams were a bit more open about talking their feelings, and that having a team or someone that talk their feelings first surely helped the others to come close to it, talk their feelings, what they were facing at the time. So the fact of the need for collaboration and the need for constant interacting with the rest of the team, I think, is one of the most important things in having an agile tech team working together at this point in time, at least on my opinion.
Absolutely. I'd probably second that, and also second what Sasha just posted in the chat, in that we need more than just the tech teams to stay agile. You know, the whole business and organization needs to do so. So completely agree with that comment. Keep them coming. Shalini, do you want to jump in and give your 2 cents?
Yeah, sure. So I completely agree with you and Raquel on that. Today, we are living in a very fast-paced world, right? And companies are facing a lot of challenges, whether being, the competition market or the ongoing demand from the customers and economic crisis. A lot of challenges companies are facing, isn't it? So if you look into the traditional way where everything was very structured, very rigid, there was not active collaboration between various layers. But if you look into today's environment where when we work in Agile, it's all about collaboration from various teams, whether you talk about product team, UX, sales, marketing. We all work in a very cross-functional manner and share our skill set and experience. That is the beauty of Agile. Agile prepares people to be ready for change. It prepares people to be adaptable, to be flexible. So I think this is the key benefit of Agile over the traditional ways of working, I would say.
Perfect, 100%. Okay, Russ, do you want to jump in and give your ideas?
Just another dimension in building on what Shalini and Raquel have been talking about. What I've been finding is that tech teams, agile tech teams, engineering organizations, etc., tend to have experience working remotely or in a distributed environment versus many other parts of the traditional organization. And in the companies that I'm speaking to who had to suddenly lift and shift to be working from an office environment to a remote environment, turn to their technology and engineering teams, turn to those teams that were using Agile and said, can you help coach and advise these other parts of the organization that are less familiar in this distributed working environment, this remote working environment? Share your lessons learned, your best practices, tell them what you've gotten wrong so that they can start to feel more comfortable in this way of working much more quickly.
Okay, excellent. And Nauman, do you want to finish us off?
Yeah, as our colleague mentioned, we are in a changing world. Yeah, so it's all unprecedented and terrain. And the only way to cope in a changing environment is to agile. Yeah, so these are the tools and techniques which enable us to cater and focus on what is the priority at the moment. Yeah, so whole lift and shift, how the world is moved down. So we are focusing on what is the priority at the moment, what is the demand, MVP, you're aware of minimum viable products and things. Yeah. However, we got challenges as well. Yeah, to work collaboratively. Previously, we are working with the team on sites, and these are remote teams as well. But now everyone is working from home. We have other sort of challenge, and but we are quickly adapting to that changing world. So the key thing, embrace the technology, embrace the change, and try to use CS, that is common sense, when you're adapting to the new world. And this way, we can, by working together, we can support each other and move forward, and also helping our customer, and at the overall, at the more economic and social, economic and political, we can work together and move forward.
Wicked. All right. Well, I'll pass it off to Jamie for the next question.
So after the coronavirus period is over and we're back into this,
because you can of course push
people actually touch the files, even maybe
rather than overwrite their files. You should never do like for.
I think you were breaking a bit. It's like, are we willing to take a working permanent role from home? Was that the question, right?
Yeah,
Or
after the period's over, in regards to working from home, are you willing to make it a permanent option or even like a mixed week? So work from home 2 or 3 days a week. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
shall I go first?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that my team and myself will be talking about is, if this goes longer, what will be the likely scenario? I do believe that we are now getting to a kind of a balance working from home. So one of the things that we consider as a team, because we don't know how long this will gonna take, or if we ever going back to normal, is as possible get together in person to do some team building activities, some workshops in person, if we can go we'll all together in the office and do something together. But working from home at this point in time is kind of a given for technology. No one knows when we're gonna get back, so we are most likely on the mindset of keep this going and don't. But there is many people that they say they are way more productive now because they don't need to spend 2 hours on commute. They don't need to is economic because they don't need to spend all that money as well. With the arrangements people been doing is most likely to have a balance between a mixed role than actually stay work from home forever, but kind of a balance. This is my view and my team's view in our discussions.
I think there is a disturbance in the line, Alfie and Jamie.
Yeah, I think somebody's talking a little bit in the background. If you know who you are, just make sure you're on mute, please. But yeah, go ahead, Shalini.
Yeah, sure. So I think if you talk about Iris Software Group, we are taking an initiative from the HR team where we are giving an option to the employees whether you would like to continue working from home on a permanent basis. I think it was, I do not know what the end result would be, but if you ask me as a manager of a team, I'm more than happy for my team members to kind of work from home on a daily basis, even after the COVID-19 situation. Because what I notice is that in the past 3 months, I haven't found any challenges in achieving our sprint goals or on our day-to-day ceremonies or anything like that. We were delivering the product on time as required, and we are making our customers happy. So I'm not facing any challenges so far for the past 3 months. So I'm more than happy for all the team members to continue working from home. And the end result will be, there will be, company's final decision will be play, but I'm just talking about me, my personal opinion and my team's opinion. However, my suggestion would be, in future, if there is a team, half the team members are working from home and half the team members are working from home office, then I would highly encourage to continue the collaboration in a virtual way, because we do not want to make the people who are working from home feel left out. So my recommendation to be, if you're in a team where half the team members are working from home and half the team members are working from office, please do continue to be, have that virtual collaboration so that people do not feel left out. That would be one point for me. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Russ, would you like to go next?
Sure. I think the many companies I'm speaking to echo the sentiments that have been shared. I don't think we're going back to full-time working in offices anytime soon or potentially forever. Some companies have discovered that their workforces are much more productive working from home. They're happy to have people come into the office half the week, work from home half the week. I think each office, each organization is going to have to work out its own parameters on how to achieve that. One of the decisions that I think will need to be made by management teams of companies is the trade-off between the investment in office space and real estate versus the investment that needs to go in technology to support more remote working, whether it's through platforms like Teams, whether it's through laptops at home printing devices, you name it. So that is one of the discussions that many companies are looking at, and I think most of them are saying we're going to have to shift more investment into our IT infrastructure and less investment into our office space.
Good insight. Nauman?
Nauman, I think you might be on mute again. Just for those that have joined a little bit late,
Okay.
there will be a recording of this sent around, so no need to worry if you've missed anything so far.
Yeah, sorry, it's auto muted. Yeah, okay. So personally, I would like to be in front of customer where we interact with customer and solve day-to-day problems. It's more quicker, faster, with the support of our offshore teams. Yeah, within UK, outside, and globally. Yeah. However, in a COVID environment, it's special. You know, it's a very unprecedented time scales, and we are rebaselining the normal. So we need to adapt ourselves. You know, we need to reach out to the people. And every person have a different circumstances, families, they have got individual challenges and other things. So we need to look at on case by case basis and adapt ourselves and try to reach out to the people and try to understand and work closely, rubbing their shoulder, give them a call, and use the other important area we should be focusing, and all the technology companies are focusing, is immersive and AVR, and as I mentioned previously. So that's the area, that's the area we should be focusing on. And with the avatars, we are moving there, virtual realities and stuff. So we have a personal touch on things. But as all the panels, yeah, we are witnessing the world has changed, and we need to move forward in the changing world. We're adapting ourselves, and companies, they are most likely to close down their offices because now they see the value of it. And working with the government sector, previously there isn't a much appreciation of working from home, but now they have no option but to go for it, and now they are seeing the benefit of it. So the industry is no doubt is going to change, and we have to adapt ourselves according to the changing environment.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very, very good points. Okay. Well, look, next question. Look, when it comes to productivity, some people would argue that they are more productive in the office, and people would say at home. It's really a mixed debate. So, like, I'd be keen to hear everybody's thoughts and ideas on any advice that they would give to people to make sure that they are staying productive when working from home. Now, obviously, if you believe that working from home even makes you more productive, then feel free to talk about that as well. But let's just get some general productivity tips and ideas around the current climate. So, Raquel, do you want to kick us off?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, go for it.
Good. So one of the most important things that I've been learning on my personal expense is the balance. Because in the office, we do have like every 5 minutes to go between a meeting and the other. We go kitchen, we come back. And when we are working from home, if we book all our meetings from at the top of the hour to it's like always no one has time to stretch legs, no one has time to even have a bit of a balance in there. So one of the things that I learned was that I have no commute time. I can actually use the time that I would be going in a commute and the time that I was coming back home. So use that time to actually be productive and space my day out. So I have time to do some exercise, keep a routine. I'm working from home, but I'm in my space office and I'm here working. I need regular breaks. And this is something that was my own experience, and share it and learn from others as well. Because in the beginning was the awkward thing that I was feeling exhausted after 2 weeks. Completely exhausted, and with adaptation and listening with others, is listening what other people are doing. Then we do many times one thing, that is we start the meeting like 5 minutes after, at 5 after, and we tend to end like 5 minutes early, so everybody gets a break if they have back to back, so no one needs to be seated there or getting late during the meeting. So that was kind of a few things that we actually did.
Cool. All right, wicked. And a few people in the chat, Raquel, are seconding your thoughts as well. Peter mentioned some really good ideas around, obviously, if you think about the environmental impact, less cars on the road, better for the environment, and obviously less time stuck in traffic, etc., etc. Cool. Shalini, do you want to share your ideas around this?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree to all the Raquel's point. One thing to kind of remember is that there is this kind of misunderstanding, I would say. If you're working from home, you're not productive. I think it's not mainly maybe from the managers. You as employees itself feel that, oh, I'm working from home, maybe it might look like I'm not productive. I think first we have to kind of get rid of that misunderstanding or myth and convince ourselves or trust ourselves that we are productive, whether we are working from office or home. And one key challenge, I would say, if you are working from home, as Raquel was pointing out earlier, you kind of lose that human touch. And in this kind of situation, it is unavoidable. So to make things better, yes, we have regular sprint meetings, scrum ceremonies, and all those things, but try to have a virtual coffee. So for instance, in our team, we have at least once in a week or once in 2 weeks, we have virtual coffee sessions with our team, or maybe lunch together, virtual lunches together. So these are like time with your team, not the regular meetings or scrum ceremonies. So take time, be actively participating in the group discussions. Don't silo yourself from others. Be with others, participate in the group discussions, and be collaborative, because this is the time where you need that emotional touch from everybody. So that is my key suggestions. And don't worry, you are productive as much as others are.
Cool. Russ?
Yeah, I would say to employees that it's important to articulate what your boundaries are in terms of when you're planning to work, and to communicate that to your colleagues and your teams. A number of people I've spoken to over the past few months have found that their days have been getting longer and longer because people just assume and know that you're at home and you're working at home. So whether it's a call at 4 in the afternoon or maybe 7 in the evening, those days are getting longer for people. So I think it's important, especially if you're working in a team environment, to let your colleagues know when you're on, when you're off, when you're available, and that they have a clear understanding of that.
Yeah, good point. Good. And Nauman, do you want to finish this off?
Yeah, absolutely. As my colleague all mentioned, yeah, the important thing is the right tools available to you, and you're familiar yourself with that. Yeah, so you're comfortable with the environment. Do regular breaks. Yeah, that's a key thing. Yeah. So even, sit back, take a breathe, have some stretches and stuff would also useful. And I'm surprised our company have arranged few sessions, health and safety, and we invited the guest speaker, and they give us tips and tricks, 5 minutes, 10 minutes breaks, take, 20-20 rules and things like that, and try to be incorporate in our life. Yeah. So one of our clients, we are working with, there's a health and safety emphasis. Every start of meeting is a health and safety minute. So over there, this is the key. This is the techniques we use in our meeting start. What is the things you learned about health and safety? What is the improvement you can make? Any observations or any reflections where we can put and help other people? And while working remotely, there are no boundaries. People do understand with the cross-functional team, with the different time scales, time zones. So there's another challenge. So how we overcome that is telling them your time scales and try to retrade the things. It's a bit education thingy, but the people recognize that and try to come into the similar time zones where it's comfortable for each other. And the other thing is, being a social animal, we can't rule out personal interactions and stuff. Yeah. So even though you're working from home, try to set up some sessions with our team, coffee sessions. There's a other weekly meeting or fortnight or monthly. You can agree in some place there, keeping the SOPs in place and try to work together. And hopefully we are enjoying, and we move forward with the changing and emerging things as coming along our way. Thank you.
Wicked. All right, Jamie, do you want to wrap us up with the last question?
So, final question. What advice would you give to managers when trying to lead teams remotely?
And Raquel.
Yeah, you can give them a ton of things, but I think the most important thing that if I could say to a manager is remember that you're still human and the people you work with are human and you need to take care of them as human. So care for as you can probably see more into their lives that you used to see before. Just keep remember that we are all human, and keep that personal touch with everybody, make people feel welcome, because is enough the physical distance to everybody to make people feel lonely. So if you can feel someone that actually listens to you in a very deeply way and is curious about you and really deeply cares, that will make all the difference with a manager. I can go on forever, but I think everybody has a say on this. But for me, the most important thing is the human side.
So basically, it is move to a different page. I think you might be on move. Screens.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So with like other answers, I kind of completely agree to Raquel with this one too. So that is one key thing, right? The human side. And another thing is that for me, I would kind of say, please avoid micromanaging your employees. If you can get rid of that, that's absolutely brilliant. Trust your employees. And if at all you have something, have an open communication with them, and respect their personal needs and demands, respect that feelings. I would always think that for a manager, emotional intelligence is very, very key. So help them, coach them, mentor them rather than micromanaging them. That would be my key advice.
Yeah, I would build on that and say for the manager, she or he should really have one-to-one discussions with each employee on the team. Some of those employees will love working from home at the moment. Some of those employees will not like it at all. So I think an informed manager is really important when dealing one-on-one, but as part of the team environment to know, well, these 3 employees I know are loving this setup. These 4 just don't like it at all. They're in a cramped room and a cramped flat. And just to really be mindful of the employees' environments that they're working in, and having that understanding, I think, is one point. And the second point, just picking up from people I'm speaking to. One manager I spoke to literally had just kind of an open call, 30 minutes with the entire team on the call every day. And initially, people were hesitant and reluctant. But over time, people found like that was the one part of the day where the entire team could come together, chat with each other, connect with each other, and they've actually valued that. So much so that later this week, they're going to meet in a park in London and socially distance themselves, but actually have some physical time together because they knew that that was something that was missing and the managers organized that.
Right. Yeah. Nauman?
Yeah, as everyone suggested, it's a very good suggestion. We need to see how we are moving and progressing with the robotics and artificial intelligence AI on the horizon. And the industry we have worked in, so we are up against that challenge. So how we overcome that and how we have a win-win situation with the economics and other challenges, to address. Yeah. So there is a human element. Yeah. So as a human, we need to understand the environment each person is in. Yeah. For example, a person with a family, is a different gather different set of needs. So we have to reach out to the people and be supportive to them. Yeah, we understand this. If it's comfortable, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And I think there's a culture. I see a shift in the people. Previously, we thought about the background. Now we don't care. We say, yeah, we live in a human. We got a kids. They pop up, yeah, in the screens and stuff. And yeah, so this is the thing which we need to be mindful of and support people, giving them some extra space, or if they need some breakouts, or if I totally agree, no micromanagement, and also see some sort of timings. For example, agree a time that is comfortable for everyone. The other things, we got a feedback from people. Normally we have a break times, yeah, 12 o'clock or 1:30, yeah, so it's between that. Now people try to book everything between that time. Yeah. So every corporate sessions and these things, they made this, meeting at that time. Understand there is economics, and we need to be mindful of getting revenues and all these things. But you need to look for time that is not their personal time. So these are the things which would help and encourage people to be best in their work, and so that we can get the outstanding results. Yeah. Thank you.
Wicked. Well, I think that wraps us up. So I just wanted to say thank you to the 4 speakers for helping with this and giving their insights and ideas. I certainly, got a lot out of it, and hopefully the attendees did as well. There's a hashtag starting in the chat of sofa sessions. So I think somebody mentioned that in the chat based on your comment, Russ. So I think you started something. So thank you all for participating, and to the attendees. Now, if you are a candidate looking for an IT job and you might have been affected due to COVID, then I'm going to post in the chat our contact details, and feel free to get in touch. And on the other hand of the coin, if you are a company looking to recruit in the tech and digital space, despite what's going on, then please reach out, and we're more than happy to put you in touch with people that are looking for new roles themselves. So once again, thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.
Stay safe.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.